It's almost 2 in the morning. On the M25, the driver of a stolen Fiat is trying to shake off the traffic police.
The vehicle is a Punto involved in number plate swapping, eastbound on the M25.
Unaware that 1,000 feet above, a police helicopter has him on its thermal imaging camera.
After the next junction, there is a left.
The car thief has 2 passengers, a man and a woman. He's been chased through 2 counties, Hertfordshire and Essex, to this point.
MP 99. Yeah, MP India 99. It's a decamp, Europe City West, just to the west. 3 decampers.
This housing estate in East London is where all 3 live and where they hope to hide.
You received India 99, continue ambulance.
Tonight, London Sky Cops are put under pressure.
Got it. It's over the grass now.
By dangerous drivers who run them ragged.
Smoking.
By potential new recruits who aren't sure they want to fly.
Oh no. God, that's awful.
And by petrol bombing rioters who aren't what they seem. In East London, the 2 men and a woman who ran away from the stolen Fiat have managed to lose the police officers who were chasing them. But they haven't lost the Sky Cops.
Yeah, MP India 99 are now on the canal path which goes underneath.
One of the fugitives has previous convictions for theft and burglary. Rear seat air observer PC Chard is now in command of the effort to catch all 3.
Looking out the window, it was in total darkness. In fact, you couldn't even see it was a canal. It was just pitch black. But from the camera, you could see where they were.
Yeah, they're still along the canal path.
And you could see where they were running towards.
India 99 receiving ambulance. Yeah, MP India 99. They've now made their way up towards the locks at the end of Nellick Street. I need units, please, to go to the far end of the Nellick Street.
And they went to ground by the canal bank, by that garden there. That gives us a bit of time to look at the map and decide, OK, how are we going to contain this and get units to it.
Right, I've got 2 PCs on the canal tow path. Can you acknowledge India 99? Yeah, good. If you look towards our location, you'll see a block of 4 houses together. To the right-hand side, you may see 2 cars parked up facing inwards.
The fugitives are being surrounded, but still PC Chard wants more. He's determined that all 3 will be caught.
You'll buy the 2 vehicles now. Don't go too far forward. I want to get this area contained because they're just going to run. They're about 30 or 40 feet in the bushes, and beyond them is a canal. If you can contain either side before you go in.
It's important to put yourself in the position of the PCs. They're running in the dark, they can't see where they're going, they haven't got the bigger picture. In my experience, they're happy to let us guide them in and take control of the situation.
The officers that have just gone round to the right and overlooking the river. To your left, you should see a tree overhanging the river, and they are under that tree. Over.
It's in a PC's nature to go piling in and nick the person. It's good to be above and say, OK guys, don't go rushing in there. You go this side, you go that side. OK, he's got nowhere to go. OK, third person, you go in there and arrest him.
Yeah, there's one officer has approached what we believe is all 3 together in the trees. Another officer just coming towards. Keep coming, turn to your right now. Here we've got 3 in custody, 3 in custody.
Without the helicopter and its thermal imager, nobody below would know how many they were after.
Yeah, MP India 99, I can confirm we only saw 3 persons leave the vehicle, so that's all accounted for. That's all received.
When you see the ground troops lay hands on him, you can't beat the feeling of getting that arrest.
Hey, result.
Lovely old job.
Even though you're detached, you still want to go, yeah, we've got him.
Good stuff.
Yeah, a bit of fun.
The Sky Cops are based at a heliport on the edge of Epping Forest. It's now 7 a.m. Time for the night crew to call it a day.
Okay. Let's go down.
Very nice, man. Thank you.
Yeah, cool.
London Sky Cops fly around the clock 7 days a week. It's not all about thief catching, though. The helicopters must be looked after properly.
We wash the duty aircraft twice a week, Sunday mornings and Wednesdays. Today being a Thursday is because the aircraft was fairly busy yesterday. You know, the bugs that we pick up when we're flying around on your windscreen just cuts down the visibility. We need to see what we're doing, and the camera equipment obviously needs to be kept clean so that the evidence is not spoiled.
London has 3 of these choppers. Each cost £5 million. And there's a long line of Metropolitan Police officers who want to fly in them. Today, wannabe Sky Cops are facing flight tests to see if any of them are good enough to become air observers. And the pressure's on.
I am nervous, very nervous. I've got absolutely no flying experience whatsoever, so it's going to be a new experience for me going up in the helicopter. But it is exciting, and it is something you don't get to do every day, so I'll give it my best shot and see how I get on.
PC Behrman is one of hundreds who applied to fill just 2 vacancies in this air support unit. The final 5 have been under assessment for months. PC Miller is used to pressure. He drives fast police cars in North London as part of a rapid response team.
Nervous. I was quite apprehensive about wondering if I'll be able to work in the environment of a helicopter. I've never flown in a helicopter before in my life.
We test them on the ground as best we can with testing for aptitude, but there's no substitute for actually getting them in the aircraft, using the cameras, using the maps, and actually being in that environment.
Miller will have to convince Sergeants Brandon and Hutchison that he's fit for purpose. A video record's being kept too.
Okay, if you'd like to zoom in on the top of the gherkin, that's good. Right, what I'd like you to do now, please, is put the quad on screen, pressing the fit button down on the left. So if you look at the screen,
Yep.
you can work out exactly where we are now, and what direction we're heading. Map is always north up. So what direction are we heading?
We're heading south at the moment, we're heading in the wrong direction.
Exactly, so you need to talk us as to which way we need to go.
Okay. It's in a northerly direction, so we're going to need to turn the aircraft around.
We're looking at spatial awareness, navigation, camera work, their ability to listen to instructions and listen to radios and follow instruction. So you add all of those sort of skills together and you come up with a series of tasks that becomes progressively more complex.
Yeah, I did expect it to be quite intense, and it definitely lived up to that. So.
Okay, that's us all done.
Okay.
Meanwhile, a second helicopter, call sign India 99, is out on patrol over East London. But things are quiet.
That's an offence down there, look, 4 o'clock, that pink Micra.
Ooh dear, hairdressers.
In the front observer position is PC Banning, a rookie. 12 months ago, he was being given the once-over.
The actual process of selection is extremely stressful. I particularly hated it. You can see the sweat beads, you can see them panicking. But it is worthwhile, and now the sense of achievement that I've got now being part of the team up here is immense.
Chris, if you want to start your systems we talked about earlier, so the cards are out.
Cards are out.
Mapping on, good.
Back in the flight test chopper, another wannabe is facing the sergeants. PC Air is a firearms officer, more used to carrying guns than maps.
Can you direct the pilot to take us to the roundabout of the junction of the M11 and the A406, North Circular Road, which is on page 102?
On page 102, well.
And if you can't use an A to Z and use it quickly, you're unlikely to make the grade as a Sky Cop.
Possibly turn on to east. Follow the 406. Eastbound.
A few miles away, the second helicopter is 1,000 feet above a stolen red Volkswagen, being pursued by traffic officers.
I've now got a vehicle chase. Okay, let's go, 145.
MP, we've got a left into Clayton Road.
India 99 away.
The chase is fast and furious, and the Sky Cops are needed.
Yeah, straight for a minute. Yeah, wrong side of the road.
India 99 and PC Banning are less than a minute away.
Have you got an ETA?
Yeah, we're literally 30 seconds from this.
Can you confirm it's red VW Golf? Yeah, red VW Golf.
Manning the maps is PC Pritchard, a Sky Cop for 7 years.
Right, this main road going north-south, go south.
Stand by there, it's under me.
Let's get this on you got camera.
Got it. Yeah.
Okay.
PC Banning's job is to spot the stolen car and get it on camera.
It's gone left.
Yeah, the area car is behind us.
Where the bus is right. Yeah, got it. Gone through the car park. It's over the grass now. 90 right.
Okay, we'll
The driver of the VW is known to police. He's got convictions for assault and burglary and is wanted for death by dangerous driving.
Normally, vehicle chases are on roads, and this car all of a sudden decided to do some cross-country along some footpaths, which was a bit of a shock for the first time for me to see that.
Pedestrian.
Okay, one decab. All units wait, 99 active. That's a decab, but it's a block of flats off of Turling Road.
The man running into the block of flats is a passenger. He's managed to outsmart the cop who was after him.
You're on screen now.
Grey outfit running towards you.
He just ran straight for this block of flats with a PC quite close behind him, but managed to get into the flats and then the communal door, which closed behind him, and the PC was stuck outside.
But the Sky Cops have not forgotten the driver of the stolen car, and PC Pritchard has him in his sights.
Yeah, carrier, stop. Grey outfit running towards you. Grey outfit.
Yeah, come down screen. There he is. Zoom in there.
Okay, officer on the glass. Grey outfit coming towards you. That's it. That is the driver. Right, that's the driver. Let's go back to that one.
But arresting the passenger won't be easy. The door is locked and no one seems to have a key. While the search goes on, PC Behrman is starting her flight test and a first-time go at using the heli-telly.
Okay, what I want you to do now is, using the button that's marked Vic, change the camera to the spotter scope. And you'll see that's it. Now try and keep it on the card, focus it up to see if we can read the registration number.
For her, the pressure's really on.
Can you give me the name of that estate, please?
I've got the park. Is it as detailed as Barnes Court?
So look at your map and look at what you can actually see out the window.
Yeah, okay, all right, so we're sorry, we're before the...
The flight test for many is their first ever flight in a helicopter, and that certainly adds to the pressure and adds to the nerves. But what we're looking to do is see whether they can cope with that pressure, stay calm and focused.
I found it hard. I did find it very hard. Oh yeah, I lost my bearings on more than one occasion.
I can't hover over that junction for you at the moment, so I'm going to have to keep going in little circles at the moment.
Okay, sorry, the Orchard Estate, I was too far north.
Oh, that's fine.
I was very disappointed because I didn't feel that I did as well as I wanted to.
PC Behrman believes she's flunked the test completely.
Well, Anna did very well. She had very high expectations of herself, and when things didn't quite go to plan, I think she, in her own mind, felt that she'd let herself down.
I'm right, actually. I had to go and compose myself because I was a little bit upset. It didn't go quite as well as I had hoped.
Her examiners are sympathetic, but unmoved.
We've got very limited resources, limited number of flying hours and a limited amount of time in which to train someone, and we need to try and determine whether within that time and within those resources this person has a realistic chance of passing the course.
Sorry.
Over East London, PC's Pritchard and Banning are still after the passenger from the stolen VW.
That was 99 from Kilo Zero. You can just keep an eye on the flats where they've apparently run into.
Officers on the ground are still locked out of the block of flats.
Well, the way you ran into these flats, yeah, this here.
Even if they get in, the runaway could be in any one of more than 50 flats. It's not looking good.
Further investigation will hopefully get them detained, but That can be a long old process once they've locked themselves away in a block of flats.
Anyone that gets away, it is upsetting and annoying, but they will always come again.
For the police on the ground, the loss of the passenger just got a whole lot worse. One of their patrol cars has blown a gasket.
One of the police vehicles has its bonnet up for some reason. German car or something like that.
Yeah, smoking.
At the Skycops base, the flight tests have been delayed. Even with 3 helicopters, it's not always possible to keep them all in the air at the same time. A job for the unit's team of 9 engineers.
It's a very rewarding job. You take a lot of satisfaction in what you do. You've got to be on the ball all the time. You can't have bad days, really. You've got to have the integrity as well. If you do make a mistake, to put your hand up straight away and say, no, that's not right. You can't let something go. You can't let them go flying if something's not right.
For the last 2 wannabe Skycops, the delay hasn't been long enough. Navigation is not PC Stanley's strong point.
If you look straight in front of us, there's a white building straight in front.
Sorry, Matt, I can see loads of
Sorry,
buildings.
yeah.
Straight ahead.
Okay, straight ahead, there's a... my map's gone. Is there any reason on the map?
You got one there.
All right, no worries.
He's struggling, and the sergeant seemed to know it.
Press the wrong button again.
What I'd like you to do now, please, is take us to junction 24 of the M25.
Okay, junction 4.
PC Stanley is lost already.
Now you should have the railway line there. There's the good.
Yeah, A406 is on our left-hand side.
I had a few problems. I mean, when you're busy looking down at maps, suddenly get disorientated where you are, trying to point out where we've just been flying over, and then trying to find it again on the map. Quite difficult, and plus, at the same time, sometimes the aircraft is in quite a steep bank, and your stomach seems to be going somewhere. So it's been there was a few problems like that, but hopefully I managed to bring them back.
Last up is PC Brandon, another police fast response driver from North London. Brandon can read maps okay, but is facing possibly his worst nightmare. Earlier in the selection process, he let slip that he has a fear of flying.
It's not my favourite activity. I loved flying since I was a kid, but as I've grown older, I've sort of become a bit more fearful of it. It's a case of whether my nerves are going to get the better of me.
If you look out to the left of the aircraft now, you see a collection of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tower blocks.
Yeah.
Okay, can you give me the name of that housing estate, please?
The Orchard Estate.
Okay.
Spot on. Anyone got a drink? Jack Daniels.
Once again, the sergeants go for the jugular. Captain Roberts has been told to show PC Brandon just what this helicopter can do.
This is the one, isn't it?
No, I really don't like this bit. That's really going for my head.
Well, this is what we do all the time.
I'm sure you do.
The secret is to look out, okay?
Okay. You're trying to make me feel sick, aren't you?
No, you're coping too well, so I'm turning you over now.
It's no good having a Skycop who can't take fast turns and bad weather.
Pencil, John, if you need it later on.
Right. I'll do that now. This is the one you like.
No, I don't like that. This is the bit I really... oh, God, that's awful.
You got your pencil back yet?
Yeah, I've got it.
Please. Right, where are we, Matt?
Where are we, Matt? I think it's really important, Matt, because this is what we do every day. So you need to know for your own mind whether you can deal with this.
No, fair enough.
You know, if you feel uncomfortable during this, then seriously, this is not the job for you.
Okay.
I wanted Matt to see what the aircraft does on a real job, and I wanted us to get an opportunity to see how he reacted.
Okay.
Right.
It's been a tough flight, and for PC Brandon, a final one.
Whilst he was very, very comfortable and very competent, in fact, as a potential air observer, my concerns about the risks of him not sticking with the job mean that I'm not going to invite him back for interview.
The sergeants have also failed PC Stanley, but 3 have passed their flight tests. PCs Miller, Air, and, to her great surprise, PC Behrman.
Her performance was nowhere near as bad as she believed it was. And we've invited her back for an interview. We wouldn't have done that if we didn't think she was trainable as an air observer.
The 3 PCs face 2 more weeks of examination and assessment, but only 2, if any, will become Sky Cops. It's 7 p.m. The night shift's on, and tonight there are worries about the visibility, this unit's biggest enemy.
Just had a quick look at the weather there. They're down about 3 k's over Heathrow at the moment.
Yeah, very nice.
Okay, I'll do you well. Just do a quick debrief here.
All right.
Forecast cloud and rain could ground the Sky Cops.
Yeah, so it's visibility that's coming down, really. That's going to be what causes the problem later.
Already they are needed to help with a car crash.
Been a fatal accident on the M25.
But the conditions are changing fast.
How about you? I think that's looking a bit grim. Yeah, I'm going back down again.
Clouds are too low. They've tried to lift. If you look at the incident on the cloud monitor, it's showing that it is within limits, but it's not always accurate, and it's always down to the pilot.
As soon as we lifted above the trees, you could see, well, you couldn't see what was the problem. So it was an easy decision to come back down again, discretion being the better part of valour. But it was worth a try, at least got to see what the weather was like. But it is annoying, it was close to limits, but it's looking like a miserable night. I don't think we'll be doing much else.
London Sky Cops can lose as much as 3 weeks a year due to poor visibility. By morning, the weather is worse, but the visibility is okay. Just.
This weather's isn't it? Not good.
Today's first mission is a vital one. There's violence on the streets of London. Riot police have been deployed to deal with what looks like a full-scale riot. But this is a training exercise. An unusual and important one. For the first time since the suicide bomb attack on London of July the 7th, 2005, London's 3 emergency services are practicing working together during a major incident.
There's a real realisation that we need to practice responding to critical incidents in London where we have to speak with the ambulance service, the fire service. We all have different priorities when we arrive at an incident such as a bomb.
When the 7/7 bombings took place, police, fire and ambulance found themselves under greater pressure because they couldn't communicate with each other properly.
There was more than one scene of critical incident, great confusion. The key major problem was communication, and if you can't communicate, you can't really do anything.
And that's where London Sky Cops come in.
9999 from Nashua.
Go ahead, over.
Can you just let me know when you put the call into control of what you've seen?
Yeah, it's all safe. We are downlinking.
For the first time, India 99's heli-tele is being used to downlink pictures of this mock attack to commanders on the ground armed with special mobile video receivers, enabling senior officers to see right into the heart of the riot.
What was happening was there was fires breaking out. There's a riot going on, and with our downlink capability, we're giving them real-time updates. It's a useful tool.
The Sky Cops will show them things they wouldn't normally be able to see.
An urgent message, we have a male in distress on the roof of the building.
It's all received, it just picked up on your monitor. Thanks so much, units deployed, over.
Today's training exercise is also the first time a police officer has coordinated fire and ambulance as well as police. He's called a Silver Commander.
Right, so that's 6 things that we've got running now.
My role today is based upon the information that's coming in. We know what we want to achieve, which is obviously a peaceful outcome and a return to normality. And my role is to work out how we're actually going to do that.
The Silver Commander is being pressurised and tested to see how he copes with the various crises thrown at him.
Please. Right, OK, we'll let you know.
There's a fire in the house below. Control, receiving India 99. The building that the person in distress is on the roof of, the ground floor at the rear of the premises is a fire.
The air support unit really gives an overview of what's going on. It gives you a very clear picture of who's where, because the information you're receiving from the officers on the scene can be a little bit disparate and a little bit detached, and you pull that together with the feeds particularly that you're getting and the commentary you're getting from the air support unit. It gives you a really clear picture of what's going on in real time. The man on the roof, High Street.
Still attended that.
That's still being dealt with. Yep. Right, we've still got sporadic disorder as far as we're concerned.
Yeah, Golf 150.
Without the heli-tele pictures, the commanders would have no idea how much danger the man is in.
Yeah, there's the fire engines there.
Yeah, they're waiting to get the secure area for them. That is useful to show them what's going on.
This riot might be make-believe, but so too are the streets of London it is taking place in. This is a brand new purpose-built Metropolitan Police training complex, which cost over £15 million and rivals any Hollywood film set.
We've got tube trains, we've got a train, we've got part of an aeroplane, we've got a part of a stadium, loads of street scenes and buildings mocked up for various things that you'd see on any general area in London or parts of London on the surrounds.
Oh, look, there's another man. Yeah, you need to put that on. You've got a man down on the roof there.
But, as in every movie, there's always a moment less convincing than the rest.
He's wearing the blue overalls and I'm wearing the overall.
Nevertheless, the rescue will be taken seriously, just like the real thing.
You need to tell them now, don't you, that you've spotted something else. So throw it into the pot, Simon, as we would do in reality.
Silver receiving India 99.
It can never feel entirely real, because obviously there aren't real people going to be hurt, there isn't property going to be damaged, people aren't in real danger. But when you actually start getting swallowed into the exercise, then a degree of reality certainly creeps into it.
Hold on. I'm holding on, mate! Really tired now.
We don't take it lightheartedly, and I think we all get into our roles fairly quickly and almost switch onto autopilot and start doing it as you would do it on the day.
9999 receiving. Just going over the edge now, over.
He is safe.
He's safe.
After 8 hours, the state of anarchy is over.
You learn from those training exercises so you can do it correctly in a safe way when it comes to the real thing.
The man who stole the Fiat Punto and led 3 police forces across 2 counties into East London was found to be in breach of a court order and was sent to prison for 5 months. The man in the red VW, wanted for causing death by dangerous driving, failed to appear in court and is still at large. After recovering from the flight tests,
OK, if you'd like to zoom in on the top of the Gherkin.
2 of the 3 wannabe Sky Cops were offered jobs on the unit. PC's Miller
Time warp.
and Behrman.
Enjoy that. I'm counting down the days. Not many shifts left. I am very excited to be coming up here.